Today is November 22nd, 2019, and we're doing interviews for the Stanford Historical Society. I have with us Clarence Knapp. One thing I wanted to ask you about is like the history of the property where your farm is. I'm really interested in it, and I'll tell you why. Do you know Judge Al Rosenblatt? You probably
I've heard
know
the name.
from Poughkeepsie. Anyway, there's a very small group of gentlemen, he being one of them. They're interested in a Melanchthon Smith who lived during the Revolutionary War. And they're interested in him is that he was one of the signers of the Articles of Confederation when Dutchess signed into it. So Melanchthon Smith had many properties, but he ended up, they're on a hunt for his home property, his homestead. And the old deeds show that he bought a piece of property, he and his brother bought a piece of property in lot 16 of the Great Nine Partners patent. And that's basically pretty much like Route 82, say, along Salt Point Turnpike, south of Grist Mill. It's like your farm area.
Mm-hmm.
And it's described as like a parcel of 200 and it's over 200 acres. But several years later, we found a newspaper, a sale of a farm, and it's the Smith property, and they divide, and it's described as having two farms. So I'm kind of interested, like where your farm is, where you're saying Sheldon's farm is,
Mm-hmm.
the German farm where the murder was, if there's a possibility that could be the original Melanchthon and Samuel Smith farms. Because there were outbuildings, there were houses, they described the Wappingers Creek on the property, and whatnot. So that's why I was kind of interested in your property too, that maybe somehow or other that farm, your farm, could be a split from the original
I don't know.
Smithy, but you don't know. And the thing that's really interesting is the Smith-Knapp name. Like, where did the Smith come from?
Well, I don't know. Maybe there's a connection somewheres back.
Yeah.
Well, then there was Adrian Knapp.
And which farm did he have?
Let's see, we see down 82 before the Shunpike. The house is down along the Wappingers. I think that's where he was.
Oh, okay, down, is that where the McEnroe, the tennis players' property, down on 82? It would be south of where it would be like across from the Christmas tree farm on 82?
A little bit farther down.
There's a road that goes down into an old house down there.
Yeah, there's a road that's stone walls
Yep.
that go down in there. I think that was a Knapp. There was Adrian, then there was Amos, and
Where did Amos have his farm?
I don't know. And then Amos Bice. Dot Burdick used to go. She seemed to know all about them.
And I wonder if his Knapp, somehow or other, the Boyce family was in there. If they had married into one of the girls was a Boyce or something like that.
I don't know.
I know Isaac Boyce had a farm up towards Huns Lake. I know where that farm was. So,
Well, between me and Sheldon, there was Wing, and then it was Sands before that.
and that's New Dool's house.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the farm there. He just bought the house, and the farm got cut up, and some houses been built on it.
And there was Sands actually on 82 also.
Was there?
Yeah, they were, the house would be just north of Jameson Hill Road. There's a house, when you're heading, if you go south on 82, just before you get to Jameson Hill Road.
Right.
There's that farmhouse that
Yeah.
sits there, and that was a Sands house. Because Arlene and Al Christensen owned that. They had that house. And actually, she found a box in the attic there of all old pictures. and she gave it to the Historical Society. We have a book of all the old pictures that came out of that house. And there's Wing. There's some Wing pictures in there, and there's Sands, and there's Hyatt. So there's a lot of treasures in those pictures.
Yeah, I got a lot of pictures of people, but you don't know who the names of them or who they are. And
Wow. Would you ever consider letting us maybe copy some of them? Could we print them?
yeah, I did bring a few little pictures, but
Did you? Can we look at them?
oh yeah. Just the buildings, basically.
Wow. And this is the farmhouse down there?
Yes.
Wow.
And
You want him to hold them and you zoom?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
my father's in that picture. You can't hardly see him sitting there.
I'm gonna let you hold the pictures, because Michael will zoom in and see.
You can kind of hold them at about this level. Great. And then if you want to take off the top one and we'll look at this. We'll show them real fast and then I'll have you talk about them individually. So it's in here. Okay. Great. Good.
So, okay, so if you, this one is the actual farmhouse on Market Lane.
Yes,
Which way are you looking? Are you like standing?
coming from the south.
Is that rock wall still there? That's it, is it a rock wall in the very bottom there?
No. Just a shadow, I
Is
think.
that what it is, the shadow? Okay, I thought it was a wall. Here.
And that's my father sitting in there, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old or whatever.
Whereabouts is he? He's,
Right over here.
and your dad was Harold?
Yes. That is written on the back.
That's great.
I remember we had my grandmother kind of go through these pictures and write down who they were or something about them, because they never put any pictures on it, or names or anything on anything. And
Yeah. And what's one of the other ones that you have there?
oh, that's a picture of the dairy barn.
And all those barns are still standing?
Yes.
And what's the latest?
That's the wagon house, which is still there. That was supposedly built around 1900 or,
And that's right on Market Lane too?
yes,
Is it kind of like across from where Pate Hill comes in?
yes.
What else did you bring? What other treasures?
Oh, I don't know whether you'd be interested in this. My grandmother was a tax collector for the district over there, school tax, and there were the receipt books.
They're great. Can I?
Oh, yes, you can have them, I guess, as far as I know. They'll just get thrown out. 1951 through 1956, maybe.
Oh, it's great because it's got all the names though.
Oh, yeah, all the
names
different-
of all the people. This is great.
See what the school taxes are?
Yeah. Not anything like today. Wow. Leo Henry, is that a name? See it? Or Henry Leo? Henry C. Leo, maybe? Oh, no, Edward Corbett,
Oh, yes, Corbett.
Burton and Claire Friedenberg, that's the one up by the
Yes.
cemetery?
Mm-hmm. That was a separate district, or the District 9 or 7 or something over there, right? Oh, Market Lane and Willowbrook Road, and it must have been the school district, must have had different districts.
And so this, he's Fred, Siegfried and Ida Coleman, that's Fred Coleman's parents.
That's right.
They bought the farm first,
Mm-hmm,
right?
yep.
So these books then would pertain to the schoolhouse up at the top of Prospect Hill, do you think?
Well,
I wonder where
no, it might have been this school. Wouldn't that be in the early 50s?
I don't know.
I don't know when they closed the Bear Market School. I know my brother went there for,
It says District number 7, so
Yeah.
we'd have to figure out where 7 is at that point.
my brother went to the one-room schoolhouse on Market Lane. The
Oh, with Bud's,
Yeah, Bear
Bud's
Market.
property?
But I didn't get to go to that one. They'd closed it.
Howard and Edith Lasher, I remember Lasher.
Yeah, Howard Lasher.
Lasher.
Yeah,
And then Margaret
that was on
Joseph Lamb.
Shelley Hill.
Yeah. So this is a pretty big, this is probably just what you said, I bet you this is for this building. For this, because, I mean, these names where these people lived, because this is Francis McDonald, and he lived out Bull's Head Road, that was Mrs. Lamb's brother.
That's right, yep.
Yeah. And,
It was probably between Bull's Head Road and the edge of the district, maybe, Hal Hobbs Lane or whatever.
William and Maida Stats, that is probably maybe the big old farmhouse.
Mm-hmm,
William and Martha Thellman.
yeah.
I know my husband went to school with the Thellman girl. And then Mildred Collins Van Sant.
Oh, yes, they were on Decker Road. Like the house is still there.
William Wing, that's,
Yeah, the next
that's
door
your
to me,
farm,
yeah.
right? Or
Yeah,
the
Will
farm
Wing.
across from you? New York Telephone, Central Hudson. Clarence Knapp,
And my grandfather.
yeah, $60.60. Farm number 145A. George French. William and Rella Seffler. Schreier, Frank and Emma Schreier. These are great, thank you.
Hmm.
All the names in here, they're great.
I guess I was always going to give them the dot verdict, and I never did.
They're great. Yeah, we'll keep them. So District number 7. We're doing a whole thing too with the school district, pulling all their archives
Mm-hmm.
and trying to get all that stuff buttoned up too. Because there's a lot of, they have all the old registers for all the one-room schoolhouses.
Okay, yeah.
So, and they have all the old, the kids' names in them.
Mhm.
They're really great. So they're a real treasure too. So, but what else can you tell me about Stanfordville?
Well, I guess I've seen it go from an agricultural community to a bedroom, pretty much. There's not too much more than farming around here.